Hello everyone, back tuning in to the 15th Christmas update. So done 14 updates so far. They've been very Atlantic driven and zonal and stormy updates until really the last update, the 14th, was a little bit colder and more anti-cyclonic. And I wonder whether that was going to be the start of the CFS V2 model beginning to shift to something a little bit drier and colder as Christmas gets nearer, because we are, of course, day by day, getting nearer to the period that we're interested in. So we can't pin this down to the exact weather for Christmas Day, because it's too far away to do that. We're just looking at the trend of the long-range CFS model for sort of mid to late December to early January to see exactly where the model is trending for this period that we are interested in, including, of course, the Christmas period as well. So we said that this update would be quite important, really, because it looked as though the CFS might be starting to change from the stormy, westerly and mild sort of scenarios that we had dominating the first half of the Christmas updates this year. So I thought probably this update would be quite an important one. We'll see where the 15th update goes very shortly. But just say that the Christmas shop is open. So if you've got any Christmas shop to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click the green button that says Gav's Christmas Shop. It takes you through to our Christmas shop page. And then from there, you go through the Amazon banners. And because you've gone from Gav's to Amazon, when you get there, you do Christmas shopping as normal. And they know that you've gone from our website to theirs, and so you do Christmas shopping as normal, and we get a review fee on the things that you're buying. A big thank you to everybody for doing that once again. Just to talk you through the model, so it's a CFS 9-monthly forecast from meteocl.fr. You can find it to MeteoCL on the links page using the midday run as always. Whenever possible, anyway, we use the midday run, and it was generated midday yesterday. There's a 24-hour delay on these charts coming through. So without anything else to say about, really, I think better get on with the 15th updates. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday evening. So we're going to begin on the 12th of December, where we've got low pressure to the eastern side of Scotland. Just 10 days away this now, so all of these charts are beginning to get ever closer. 12th of December, we've got high pressure to the east of Scotland. We're pulling down this cold and showery northwesterly wind. Let's run up to the middle part of December. So we go to the 15th. And we find that low pressure is slipping away down to our south, going into the Mediterranean, with high pressure building to the northwest. And this is turning the winds into the east. So already we can see this looks as though it could be a colder update. Easterly winds are starting to push in from the continent, then probably bringing snow showers into southern and eastern parts of the country there as we move through into the middle of the month. This is to the 16th, where high pressure is ridging through Scotland to Northern Ireland, bringing a lot of frosty weather there. But England and Wales, we've still got that east-northeasterly wind, and that could well be bringing snow showers into eastern parts of the country. So to the middle part of December now, let's start to get a bit closer to Christmas, and the idea then is that we cut off those easy winds quite quickly, but we have high pressure sitting over the top of the country. Nothing has really happened to stir up the atmosphere from that earlier cold weather that we had in the middle of the month. So up to the 19th of December now, under high pressure. I reckon we'd be expecting a lot of frost in with that, maybe some freezing fog for England and Wales as well. The far north of Scotland would be a bit milder with these west-southwesterly winds, but most places are under that ridge, and that looks like it could be quite a cold ridge. Indeed, with frost and fog, certainly possible. So let's get a bit closer to Christmas. This takes us to the 21st of December, where the Atlantic's having a go at trying to break through. But essentially, it's still this high pressure that's dominating to our east. I think the wind is still quite a cold one coming up from a southerly sort of southeasterly direction. So this is a mainly cold, frosty update that we've got for tonight's 15th update, as we go through into the pre-Christmas period. We're up to the 23rd of December now, and still looking mainly anticyclonic. The centre of that high pressure is a long way away from us. It's over across sort of the Baltic Sea, but it's exerting enough of an influence to be dragging the air in from a south-southeasterly direction. The continent is cold, so this is a cold continental feed of air that we have here, probably with quite a lot of frost and fog. And then we move to Christmas itself. This takes us to Christmas Eve, when still the wind is blowing from sort of a southerly to southeasterly direction there on Christmas Eve. The air coming in from off the continent, so again I suspect it's still frosty, it's still could be foggy as well, particularly the eastern parts of the country. Quite a cold and seasonal Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Day, no real change there either from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. We keep it cold with the air coming from a southeasterly direction, so again more dry weather in the main, but also I would have thought really quite frosty indeed. I think the thing to take from this update is that again the CFS is trending to something different. This is not the kind of stormy, very wet weather that we had in the first half of the update. This is high pressure dominated, it's anticyclonic, and it's quite cold, albeit it's not doing anything particularly snowy or severely cold, but it's a different pattern, and we saw this with the last update, the 14th update 2 nights ago. It does appear that the CFS is shifting. As we're getting close to Christmas, it's shifting from that idea of stormy zonal weather over Christmas period. Notice by Christmas Day, that high pressure at 1,040 millibars is trying to get itself up to Scandinavia. Let's go on a bit further to Boxing Day, and that rounds it all off of the Christmas period, the 3 days of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. That one also is looking mostly dry, cold and frosty. So all of the days over Christmas would be pretty chilly to say the least. Now we go beyond Christmas, and quite interesting, we get a bit of retrogression, and that's always an interesting sign, because we take the high pressure from Central Europe and start to move it over towards Greenland and Iceland. When that starts appearing within the charts, it's a sign that the atmosphere is doing something rather unusual. So we've gone beyond Christmas, and we've come up to the 29th of December. We find we've got low pressure developing to our east. That could be bringing snow showers into eastern parts of the country. Looks like the Atlantic is beginning to gear itself up for a bit of an attack as well. But this is still cold and wintry as we're going out beyond Christmas. This is quite a cold update for tonight for the 15th update. Although it's not doing anything particularly severe or snowy, it's pretty much cold before Christmas, right the way up to the New Year, and that includes Christmas as well, cold and frosty. This is how Christmas Eve is, New Year's Eve is looking. High pressure dominated, so it's dry, it's frosty, and it's cold. But it looks like the Atlantic is going to have a go at trying to dislodge that area of high pressure. This is the first day of 2018, New Year's Day. The high pressure just about clinging on. So Scotland and Northern Ireland probably milder and wetter. England and Wales probably still mostly dry, cold and frosty. And then I'll run you through the first days of the new year. So through the first week of January, the Atlantic has a go at getting in. But at no stage in this update, and this is really quite interesting indeed, at no stage in this update is the Atlantic able to dislodge this area of high pressure that's across Central and Eastern Europe. So we're up to the 6th of January now, 12th night, and high pressure is dominating to the east. It's a long way east over in the Baltic Sea, but it's exerting enough of an influence to keep the wind and the air continental. So even now, even through the first week of January, it's mainly dry and frosty, especially for eastern parts of the country. It is wetter and a little bit milder out to the west. And then finally, I'll just run you up to the middle part of January, and what happens is that eventually, after lots of threatening to do it, eventually by the 12th of January, the 13th of January, look at that, we've got a proper area of high pressure over Scandinavia. We've got a real easterly wind coming in there. That's bringing in quite a deep cold pool of air from the east, and that would be dragging in a lot of snow in with those easterly winds as well. And by the time we get through to the 15th of January, which is as far as I'm going to take you, it looks like we really are quite locked in to very cold and potentially quite snowy weather there through the middle part of January. Not going to go any further than that. If you want to see how that evolved, then go to Metrosil, have a look for yourself just into the second half of January. But tonight's Christmas update, it's a cold and frosty one in the main. It's not doing anything particularly severe. It's not doing anything particularly snowy until we get to that mid-January period anyway. But what we can say is that it's a different pattern to what we were seeing through the first half of these Christmas updates. So it looks as though the CFS is shifting away from that westerly, stormy, zonal signal that we had in the first half of the updates. It's shifting, and it's going to something more anticyclonic, something colder and drier. And whether that would eventually finish up with anything particularly cold and snowy, of course, we can't say, it's too far out. But we can say that the model is beginning to move from that idea of stormy weather around the Christmas period that it had in the first half of the update. So I'd just suggest keep checking back for the rest of the updates. Excuse me, I think they will be very, very interesting. See what happens. Will we carry on and develop this further, this frosty, cold weather? Will we develop it into something genuinely wintry, perhaps? Or will we eventually find our way reverting back, going back to those stormier updates that we had in the first half of the Christmas updates? It's all getting rather exciting as we are closing in ever more on the Christmas period. Right, did weekend forecast earlier, that's got some wintry weather in it as well, so have a look at that if you haven't seen that yet. It's quite an interesting weekend forecast. And tomorrow we have got the Gas Weather's Winter 2017-18 forecast. We'll release a video at 10 AM in the morning, and then after that it'll be placed on Winter Updates page with an extensive written summary as well. So keep checking back for all of the updates. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.